Hi everyone,
Hello.
Welcome to Hobby Hangout. I'm your host Lance, joined by John and the mysterious voice from beyond. Hi everyone.
Hello, I am also here. My name is Ben. Nice to meet you.
Ben, just as we said that, I heard my own voice come through because I had the browser open in another window. So I just said the voice from beyond, and then I heard myself. Hi everyone. I'm like,
Perfect.
that's not Ben.
Perfect 15-second time.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, we'll never pass that again. We may as well just close the stream. That's it for this week.
Done. Thanks for joining.
Yes, thank you very much for joining Hobby Hangout. We check out all your projects from the Beasts of War community forums. If you want to come along, come across to beastsofwar.com and you can join backstage for a 7-day free trial, as long as well as get merch and stuff like that. Now, what we'll be doing this week is starting off with looking at Amachan's Relic Knights. It's a pit crew from Relic Knights.
Was it the Cersei Speed Circuit team? I actually have a box of them at home, and Amanda's currently painted a lot better than mine because mine aren't painted at all. So
Shameful, John.
I know.
Well, I haven't done any Relic Knights content for quite some time, so
No.
actually seeing the community work on it is a nice refresher. And great content all around, you know.
Yeah, as Amachan says in the comments and stuff, she's talking about how she did the face and she's not particularly happy with it. But what would be the way to kind of fix something like that? If you realised that you got into all the detail and it hadn't quite worked, how would you come back and try and rectify it?
That's a good question, and I have a very simple answer. Do it again.
So instead you're going to wrap a towel around it and call it a face mask or something.
Could do that as well. I remember painting the Infinity Joan of Arc, following the painting book, and I was like, oh, this is great, absolutely great. Got to the face, completely screwed it up and went, but the rest of it looks so good now, I have to do it again. And then I decided, screw the instructions, I'm just going to paint whatever I feel confident with.
Maybe start with the face first, and then work your way down. That would, because then at least then you haven't spent a long time on the body and then realise you've kind of ruined it in the face. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never really had a problem with faces because I don't really pay much attention to them.
Yeah, I just usually go with just paint it pink, and then surely the wash will make it look like a real face, and then that's about it. So.
Yeah. Next up we have Andy working on a Panzer. Did you get Andy's gift from Salute?
Was that the 4 Courage and Contact?
Yes.
I got that. That's who they came from, because I said to Justin, where did these come from? He was like, I don't know. They just turned up, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, Andy stopped me at Salute. He kind of just tapped me in the shoulder. I'm like, oh, Andy. He was just so like a lost deer in the wild. Just came up to me and almost just nudged me a little bit. And I'm like, excuse me, lads. I'm like, oh. So yeah.
Yeah,
thank Andy for that.
Be glad to know that they are already on their way to being painted.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
After trying multicam camouflage and then realizing I'd screwed up, and then just reprimed the whole lot, including the new 4, and I was like, let's just try again.
Much like the face.
Yeah.
Start all over again. Yeah. Like to paint from red to purple to regular skin, both European and African. This is for camera and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is for flesh tones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of Andy's work here in the Panzer, John?
It's good. He needs more weathering.
More weathering?
Yeah.
Is that not enough for you?
Lots of paint chips, and he needs a lot more soot around the exhaust. Make it look a bit more rusty, but that's...
Just go and have some fun out in the garden. Just roll it around in the mud for a bit. It'll be fine.
As a child, when I was starting, my skill modelling career, quote unquote, I actually just did use real mud. I just mixed real mud with
You were a child once?
with PVA. Yeah.
I thought you were just birthed from a tank.
I was just a little. I was a little mini tank at one point.
See, come back here to Amanda. She's actually redone the face and put on a lovely mask.
See, that works just as well because it looks like one of those full-face balaclavas that you see in certain movies and stuff.
It looks a little bit like a sort of
Harlequin.
Joker style
Yeah.
Harley Quinn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
That's a good compromise when you struggle to do something. I really like that.
Yeah, that was a good fix. Good stuff. Next up, Doug the Fug has been... Oh, yes, we wanted to see his Saga collection. And so he's listed them all out for us.
Is this all of it?
I think so. We'll see.
Yes, this is all of it so far, yeah.
So there's Anglo-Saxons,
Oh,
and there's so much detail in these that I know we've seen them up close.
yeah.
Anglo-Danes, which is Saxons with shuffle a bit of Dane axemen, a different warlord added. Okay, Vikings. Do you think that you've actually sat and painted all of these as well? Normans. We got some horses in the Normans as well.
Yeah. And it does that nice thing of from further away you can tell that everything is nicely knitted together and it looks like a really good coherent force, which is really cool. So.
And the basing plays into that a lot.
Yes.
You have basing the same across the entire range. You can put them all together and go, this is a giant army. And it looks really cool.
I like how the warlords have... I don't know, I can't see the bases on the miniatures, but the warlords all have kind of unique bases and
Yeah.
even their weapons and stuff lying around. It's nice.
Lena on YouTube, dig it down for 10 years, that'll be some weathering. Lena, is that Aurora?
Yes.
It is,
Yes.
Me and her cosplay talk all week. It's been great on the Discord. I've been trying to convince her to get into doing some Fallout cosplay.
Yeah, why not? Everyone should be in
Absolutely.
I'm going to be the robot. Just the robot that serves drinks.
Just wandering around.
Yeah. Because then I can wander around the wasteland. No one will,
No one will bother you except if they need some parts, so they shoot you and steal some stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. You're going with the big armor stuff. All I need is just a bin. A wheelie bin turned upside down.
Undermining my efforts. More 8th Army?
Yes, more 8th Army from Elaric.
Oh, I love the little anti-tank gun.
These are work in progress pieces, though. And he's doing them on Lloyd's favourite bases. Penny coins, it looks like.
Are you sure those are coins and they're not? They're little MDF bases, are they not?
Maybe.
Maybe. I think tank
Hopefully,
guns.
hopefully when we see this coming together a bit, I like that he's got some sort of rocks built into the basing of the gun there. But I think on the troops, especially, maybe you'd have some like little tufts of dry grass and things like that, just to break things up a bit more.
Yeah.
But obviously, we'll see how it all comes together. But yeah, they're looking good so far. So.
Did you get your rocks, Ben? Did you ever get your rocks?
I did. I wandered out in front of my house and potted around the little bit of front garden we have and picked up some rocks and was asked by my neighbour what I was doing, and I said, "Oh, they're for my hobby," and she just walked away.
Your pet rock collection, Ben.
Yeah, the problem was you didn't describe it for longer. You just said it's my hobby.
She just went, "Oh, right, okay," and just walked off. I was like, fair enough.
A little bit of advice on the Crusader that you're painting. When you have all the camouflage and stuff done, take a sponge with the base colour, that sandy base colour you've got, and sponge back over the edges of the armour and the edges of the plating and stuff where the black is, and you'll get a nice little bit of a weathered effect there where that paint's been put on in a hurry and through the heat or whatever it started to chip and peel away again. Nice little...
There's a few good tutorials that John has done if you come across thebeastwar.com/painting.
Yep. And
you see some cool tips from John, our expert tank painter here.
If you say so. Hello, Lozzie, by the way.
We've got Horatian Noseblower back again with this fantastic... Let me just flip
His
around
name
the
makes
image.
me want to sneeze.
Don't. Please don't.
If anybody's been watching the Kunk on Britain series, by the way, on BBC, there's some hilarious stuff for you to watch out, including stuff about Horatio Nelson, who she calls Horatio Nelson, which was very funny. So, but anyway,
On purpose or accident?
It's like a comedy thing. So she's like purposely making fun of history, which is very good. So, like for example, she calls Hadrian's Wall Hard Ian's Wall, which was quite funny. So, yeah.
Nice. I like what's happening here so far because we've got the fence that it's already. It almost looks finished with a
Patina.
patina. I always think it's called like pedigree or something. And then he's gone over this with a bit of wash, a little bit of flocking and stuff as well.
The wash and the flock have really settled in nicely too. Really nice.
So looking forward to seeing more from that. Seeing it finished. Now we've got some toy. Eldar. Sorry, I'm quickly learning, slowly.
So this is the Eldar that we've been seeing come together for the last couple of weeks.
Gems completed and sub-assemblies put together.
I do like a good gem.
Let's see if we can get a closer look here.
He's going to do the basing with tufts and also autumnal leaves, which I think is a pretty cool idea, especially because it kind of ties into the theme of them being dead and that sort of aspect of autumn into winter and stuff. That would be really cool.
Yeah,
be a nice little narrative edge to them, to models. So
I think once the bases are put on, these is going to make them really stand out a lot.
It's making me want to paint up a little bit of Eldar.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. He's done such a good job on these ones so far.
What kind of colour scheme would you go, John?
I would actually follow one of the schemes in the books.
Yeah?
Yeah, probably. Or maybe flip it a little bit, I'm not sure. Space Wolves.
Nice to see Lance and Bennett salute. That's Doug the Fug. Yep, it's great to see you. Perfect gentleman. It's great to see you. Unfortunately, I couldn't hang around and talk to everyone, and I went early to bed as well at the meetup as well because I was just tired. But anyone who came to see us at the Salute meetup, thank you very much for joining us in the evening as well.
Who is this not John that Mando's talking about?
Did
we also see not John at Salute? Not sure.
It's because last time we were talking about the fact that you weren't going, and it was like, oh yeah, not John. Yeah, not John's not going. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Per Martin didn't get to see any of us at Salute this year, but I mean we've seen you at boot camp. That's all you need. we haven't changed. We haven't changed that much. To wear hats indoors, I have to. Here's a mess.
You don't need to see this. You just don't need to see this.
Next up, we have Ragnar and Chums from David.
Ragnar and Chums. It makes it sound so friendly, but it's actually a horrifically violent Space Marine.
Sounds like a Saturday morning cartoon. Unfortunately, we can't zoom in any more than that, but I think these look pretty good so far. It reminds me of Justin's Force, where he painted up just did a primer and then he painted the hair, and that's it.
That was no bases painted again, and that was considered complete.
How are we today?
I like the very apt mug in the background for Space Wolves. Respect the beard. It's very good.
Yeah. Viking with Brushes asks us, how are we today? I'm doing pretty good.
You get a thumbs up.
We got our travel for UK Games Expo sorted today, so it's going to be exciting. Next month, UK Games Expo. Who's going to be there?
I've got Billy from Battlefilm in the chat. Hello, Billy. Hope you enjoyed your visit.
Yeah, Billy came across on Monday and he filmed Giant Killer Robots.
So that'll be a Let's Play that'll be in the pipeline.
Giant Killer Robots from Weta Workshop. That's the very first miniatures game. Well, I say miniatures game. Not
board
really.
game, I suppose.
Yeah. Next up, we have what are these? These are
12 survivors from the zombivore counterpart of Rue Morgue. Mostly done.
Is this an old game?
Possibly.
Zombivore?
Ben is currently jumping onto Google now to find out.
I like these are like you have a human model and then you've got the zombie model. I like how the zombie model is more apt in combat, it seems. Especially this guy.
It's kind of like, yeah, it's before and after turning.
Yeah.
They do nice female models.
These are great. I love the sculpt on the legs.
This is a bow-legged after she's been bitten.
Feel that sorry.
Zombicide, is that someone's name?
Maybe it was Zombicide. Yeah, I can't remember where they're from. They are from Zombicide, apparently. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think a little bit of like anti-shine on this because you can kind of see the shine in the leg, but then again, it could be like speck of blood. I think it would work.
It's good
quite
work.
well.
Good work on the denims and the jackets for the second character there as well. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Father Ted. Because zombie
the
Father Ted,
second guy after he's turned, looks a bit like Father Ted.
isn't he? Just a more terrifying version.
My lovely zombie running through the field.
Ben, do you want to talk about your Gloomhaven paints here?
Yeah, so I've been showing off some of the painting of the models from Gloomhaven. My housemate managed to get a cheaper copy of it second-hand from somebody, which was pretty cool. Hadn't been played that much, so all the models had been slightly undercoated as well. So some of the models have been undercoated in white. Well, no, so I undercoated them in white and sort of kept the can further away, but occasionally some of them have been spread a little bit too closer, and so that meant that the details were a bit muddled. So I had to try and paint these models up as quickly as possible for us to game over the weekend and stuff, as you do. And so yeah, there's two of the characters there. So that's the Crag Heart, which I've painted up, and then there's also the Inox, I think they're called. Although I slightly tweaked and changed the painter scheme for that guy a bit more. But yeah, for board game models, they're not bad at all. Although I much preferred painting up some of the other the models from the range as well. So the 6 starting heroes, and I've done all of them now, I think. So yeah, you'll see them popped in throughout the thread as we go through. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice working with really bright colours rather than just going for like dark and gloomy stuff all the time. So
yeah,
there seems to be a lot of texture on these models.
Yes,
well.
there is. Yeah. They take the washes quite nicely. The only problem is that because of the way that the detailing is, occasionally that can get a bit muddled if you go back through over with highlights and stuff. So, like, I'm happy with them. They work nicely enough as board game miniatures. So yeah,
good. Next up, we have Amachan working on the Venerable Dreadnought.
Wow, you screwed
Venerable
that
Dreadnought.
up. Venerable. There you go.
It's because I said it and then I was reading
Venerable
as well. I've screwed up worse names. It's fine.
She's doing an absolutely stunning job on this.
I still won't forget Tom Bombadillo or whatever it was. So.
Tom Bombadil. Yeah. Is this a kit or is this kit bashed?
I think, if I recall right, it's a kit, but I think she's done a couple of bits to it. I'm not too sure. She can probably tell us in the chat. Tell us how wrong we are.
This is looking great so far, though.
It is really good.
So she at that point she was too tired to continue because she knocked over a water pot. So
funny, I've had Amanda and Aurora saying that they've been knocking over water pots on the Discord, and it's like, these two are terrible.
It's a plastic kit with some things altered.
Yeah. It is looking really good.
Okay, I know there's more stuff from Amanda later on as well, but we have next up Dark Danigan distracting himself from finishing proper armies with some Star Wars speeder bikes.
That is so cool.
I've never seen it. Is Luke on a speeder bike? Like,
yeah.
Has he converted this, or does Luke get on a speeder bike
I
at
think
some point?
he's converted this.
yes, yeah.
Because Luke never wore the scout armor, so he's taken one of the scout bikers normally and then just did a head swap and a weapon swap. So he's done the guy that's looking over his shoulder with the pistol.
Yeah.
Cut the head and the hand off that and put Luke's on, and that is a superb piece of work. I absolutely love the shading on the bike. Even if it's the wrong colour.
That'd be terrifying, just zipping past stormtroopers in a speeder bike, just holding the lightsaber out. And just carving
Cutting through
your way.
their paper thin armor.
Yeah.
That basing is really nice too. He's obviously used like a crackle medium on it, or like a dried earth texture thing, and it is really, really nice.
Yeah.
Really impressed.
It's very simple.
It is.
Paint scheme, and it works. It's nice.
Simple works for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice.
Cool. Now, maybe a red coat for Zudus, but is this Willycom's character? No. I was thinking of what's his name in the movie? Really famous actor now. Never mind.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
It's not Michael Caine.
It's not his character.
No.
No.
Where in the forums are these coming from? Okay, so if we go to the main website, if you click on the forums, let me just make sure that we don't have an echo coming across here. So on beastwar.com, you can click up here on community, over here to forums, and you can create a free account. Doesn't cost anything, and everyone is welcome. This is what you see in the forums. Come across here to Hobby Forum. But what we're particularly looking at right now is the What Are You Painting Now forum. So if you click in there, and if you want to submit your own work, you can, and we will happily have a wee look over it. We check out most of these hobbies every week, as well as look through any other forum topics, and we have a great time as well. So yeah, we're looking at Andy's Zulu project, and Andy is constantly working on something different.
Yeah, he always seems to be he just jumps time frames all the time.
And as Martin says, if you want to come across and join backstage, you can help us pay rent, and keep the lights on, buy us nice clothes, come across and join backstage for the 7-day free trial. You can get some cool painted guides, train guides, exclusive interviews, and Weekender XLBS, and we have boot camps here at the studio as well. And if you want to show your praise off to your granny, you can buy merch at beastwar.equid.com. Got the spiel over with.
You did, yeah. Very good.
I'm getting better at this now. Next up, we have Aurora in bag, which we will purposefully ignore for the meantime, because check out the Beast War website on Friday. We may have a little surprise about this, but this is great.
Beautiful work.
Absolutely stunning piece as well. I love the metal work on this here as well.
Yeah.
But we will quickly skip over that piece and looking at this demon. I presume. I love the bone work on this. It almost looks as if he's wearing underwear, but it's an exoskeleton.
It should be something that, it looks like something that came straight out of Doom.
It does.
It does actually. Yeah.
Does it actually?
The old Doom.
Ah.
The thing I really like about these, just to hang on them for a second, is the fact that they've been done in a way that echoes the artwork so well from Massive Darkness, and it emphasises that slightly cartoon nature that each of the miniatures have, and it's just come off so well. And the base painting as well is superb. So
hardcore underwear, apparently.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Aurora.
That's their version of a chastity belt. So yeah.
Seems a lot more comfortable than horned nipples from the last episode. If I remember that. The red coat looks like Peachy from The Man Who Would Be King. See? Hutch has been... Oh, Hutch. I haven't seen Hutch post in quite a bit now. I've been having a few bits done to his Mega City collection.
Bit of Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Hutch, I don't know if you remember this, John, but he was quite a contender in the scatter terrain stuff. Do you remember Ben? I'm not sure what he made, but I remember him making some awesome creations for the community challenges, which will at some point we'll get back to this year. Let's get UK Games Expo over with and all of our other current projects finished.
The thing I liked about these is it's just gone for that again. That thing that emphasises the nature of the game and the sort of the background of it, where he's gone for really bright, bold colours for everything there, and it's sort of going with that comic book style. And then I really like the idea of working with the clear bases for a game that is so inherently all about urban environments, because obviously if you're playing games that take place out in, you know, wider areas, in rural areas and all that kind of thing, then basing them with materials and all that kind of thing works. But when you're doing something like this in an urban area, you can occasionally have those times where the basing clashes with where your characters are moving through, whereas with clear bases, that's not an issue. And it kind of keeps building up that cinematic feel to things as well. So that's very cool indeed. Something that I'd like to see people doing for Infinity and stuff as well, actually, if it would ever work, I suppose. But yeah. Very nice.
Mark asks, "Oi! I asked you once before and didn't get an answer." Moving on. Are all the miniatures these days plastic, or do they still make them of lead?
Well, they don't make them in lead any longer because lead happens to be a health hazard. What you find now is that in metal miniatures, there are still quite a lot of companies that make metal miniatures due to it's the cheapness of the mold. So you're not spending £10,000 straight away on a plastic injection set. You find today's metal miniatures are zinc aluminium because it doesn't powder as much when it patinas and rusts. But a lot of companies are moving to plastics because they're becoming a bit more accessible. But there's a few companies like Foreground and White Dragon in particular are moving to 3D print and resin cast. In fact, Foreground is pure 3D print.
Yeah, and there's almost zero difference between a 3D print from Foreground and one that's been cast.
And a resin cast from White Dragon. They're practically identical. You can't see any... You can a little bit print lines, but very, very minute.
Yeah.
And even if you do see it, the primer will cover that.
Yeah, the primer gets rid of
it. So there we go. No more lead. Sorry, in case you're looking to add up your lead collection there.
There was actually a box of models that were sent into us a couple of years ago, which were lead cast.
Wow.
And we opened the tin, looked at it, and went, nope, and we closed the tin again because half of it had started to decay.
Yeah.
So it was becoming powder. So we wrapped a bunch of duct tape around it, and I believe it is in some garage somewhere out of the way, so we don't have to touch it.
It's going to be like that. It's going to be like
a bomb.
It's the Ark of the Covenant from Indiana Jones. Like someone will open it up and it'll melt someone's face.
Yeah. Okay, Amanda, she's been working on some
Dreadnought.
Yeah, Dreadnought more so, adding some bone color and metals around.
I really love the shield, and I like the different color of the shield. I don't think that's a lighting thing either. Definitely the Dreadnought's the more Space Wolf blue, but the shield's a bit more grey, and it's just so nice looking between the two colours.
I like how the axe in the background as well. Like there's the tinted blue.
We need a close up on that axe.
It reminds me of old fantasy games where you'd like tip your weapons with like a gem of something, or poison maybe. Quick change of direction. Taurus is actually watching the stream today, so thank you very much for joining in. But he's working on some BattleTech Division 6mm.
6mm infantry looks terrifying.
Which is quite fitting considering the computer game's coming out quite soon, or it might actually already be out. Actually, I think. But yeah.
We saw some BattleTech actually. What was a BattleTech?
Mac Warrior.
No, it was BattleTech.
Yeah.
It was Foreground's own homegrown game that they did. Yeah.
I seen some of the Macs and I immediately wanted them.
They 3D printed those.
They did.
Yeah.
And I need, guys, if you're watching, I need a Mad Cat. Thanks very much. I will paint it. That'll be amazing.
Taurus, I'd maybe just recommend just little zoom in on each model, just a little bit of lighting as well. It's a little bit dark, but looks great otherwise. But Andre's been working on some Chaos Dwarfs or Blood Bowl. These are very bright, and they look very old.
Aren't these more? These are more of the classic sort of models, aren't they?
He's going to go with a sepia wash, and then highlighting it back up with yellow, which I think will work very well. So
Plenty of stuff to mess around with.
Yeah.
I love the hats.
Is there a double head on this one?
Yeah.
It is a double head. Yeah.
Ben, you should be all over that. It's a double-headed dwarf. It's double the beard.
Yeah, but he's an evil dwarf, so...
Oh, you're not keen
It's
on
like-
evil dwarves?
No. Yeah.
Ben only likes dwarves that reflect his own personality.
Yeah.
They're not evil enough.
They have to be goody two-shoes.
Andy's been working on some Protoss AVP Marine. If I hadn't seen that this was from Aliens, I would have just assumed this would be another Spectre model.
Yeah.
He's done them up so well. They're a little bit bigger though for Spectre, are they? Because
Yeah,
they
these
should
one-
probably work in with it.
These Protoss miniatures, I think they're between 32 and 35. I think they're much bigger. I think they are 35 actually. But yeah.
That'd be cool as well if you had Spectre rules.
Yeah.
Or took Spectre minis and have alien invasion.
You could easily do it. Yeah. Yeah.
Because Andy, we know you have the minis now. We know you have them painted. Just need to see an alien.
Sundancer
Get a battle on
in the chat very quickly. Didn't Armacast produce a Mad Cat at one point? They did, and they also did a Vulture. But if I was to get anything like that, I'd actually want the more modern mechs, the ones from MechWarrior Online, that more modern, complicated looking thing. Anyway, we can move on now.
Good morning from Texas. Good morning. Good afternoon from Ireland.
Oh, it is afternoon too.
Mm-hmm.
Irish Steve.
Irish Steve is painting his way in Korea. I saw them this morning actually.
He was
painting,
in Ireland and didn't come to see us.
No, because he lives in, he's originally from Cork, I
Oh, well,
believe.
Cork is the back end of nowhere.
Cork or Waterford, I think. Way down south, so it'd take quite a bit to come up and visit us.
About as far south as you can get in Ireland.
Yeah, but I saw him painting some bases this morning on his stream, and he's told me that he's still yet to watch the live vlog because he got 2 videos in and then he was distracted by real life. I love his freehand work in the cloak
This
here.
is beautiful. Absolutely.
Shows
beautiful.
off the Raging Heroes stuff very nicely.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what he does with the rest of it because the red cloth alone catches my eye.
Mm-hmm. I want to see the
Beautiful
face as
transition.
well. Face is a
Yeah.
really nice color scheme on it. Very cool. Wonder what he's doing with this. Is this like the? Is that
I
just
think
the
that's
part of the hair? or
Yeah, I
is
think that looks like it's going to be transitioning into the hair.
Yeah.
That filigree work on that cloak is gorgeous. I need to learn to do that.
Oh, we got more stormtroopers from Sotif. This time with the yellow shoulder pad. Lovely differentiation there. I always see these stormtroopers. We'll see a few later actually as well, which have really nice. I think anyone who does them that are not black and white is going to get some praise. But then again, it's hard to tell. It's hard to take that leap of faith to try something new with stormtroopers. I think they'd look really well in like a nice navy blue. If you did them well.
You're giving me ideas here.
Sorry, John.
I don't think Warren would allow me to start painting out of the box.
Well, surely we could like steal a few.
We could.
No, we
could.
can put them all up by ourselves.
Yep.
And then Moji is what is this? Oh, it's more
Dread.
Judge Dredd. I was going to say Dreadnought for some reason.
It's converted pieces. Yeah.
But this is like movie Dread stuff by the looks of it.
Yes.
A lot darker and grittier. My favorite Dread.
Your favorite Dread?
Yes.
Is this the recent Dread movie?
This is Carl Urban's Dread.
I love the soundtrack in Carl Urban's Dread.
So good. Everything about that movie made me smile. Except the cost of cosplaying one of those guys. That's about the only thing that made me disappointed.
Have you seen The Raid as well? which
No.
is the, you need to see the raid. It's basically the Judge Raid, but without guns and fists instead. So
Ben, it's like you don't know me at all, mate. You know, without guns, no.
fair
The
enough.
raid
That's
is really
true.
good. I saw the raid first, and I watched. We unfortunately downloaded it because it didn't come out in cinemas over here, and we watched it with a really bad dub, an English dub. So we just turned the dub off, and then we slowly got the idea of the story. Anyway, realized there's bad guys in the top of the building, and there's policemen at the bottom. They're trying to get their way up. We don't know why, but it's a great action flick regardless.
I watched. Do you remember that movie with Jason Statham, Death Race?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
I watched that with
Mario Kart,
No.
the movie.
Violent Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I watched that with a Slovakian dub, just to see how bad Statham was, in a different language, and it was hilarious. Everybody would I don't know why sometimes voice actors, when they're doing dubs, they overemphasize things. So when Statham was mildly excited, his voice was actually super excited, and it just made it even better.
It's like Attack on Titan, the English dub. They just can't convey the sheer furiosity that the original voice actors show off. But what is this? Shadows of Brimstone, Serpent Men. These are very cool. These remind me of what did we see quite recently? That came out. Was it the Medusa? I suppose you still there, Ben? Yeah, you are.
Yeah. What's I'm getting the really interesting Yuan-Ti vibe. I think they're called Yuan-Ti from Dungeons and Dragons. They're like snake people.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Shadows of Brimstone range is absolutely insane because they've got models that cross so many weird pulp barriers, and bring together fantasy stuff and all sorts of different things. And I'm really liking how this has been done with the green and the yellow. It's got that nice, awesome snake look to it, but then adding a little bit more of the fantasy edge to it at the same time as well, which is cool. So
Look a bit like tree snakes.
yes, I'm also Conan. I'm getting a Conan vibe. Conan the Adventurer vibe again.
Yeah. The colours
Star
really nice
Master
on
for the
these. Nice bright colours. It's a nice
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah. You can see how it's all been highlighted up as well in that final picture there, which works very nicely.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Cool. We got an update as well from Amanda that the competition that she entered. This was her model down here on the left,
Yep.
and encompassed by the bigger ones. But I'd like to congratulate you for actually submitting your mini and having the courage to put it in. I know submitting minis to painting competitions is probably quite daunting.
It's a bit nerve-wracking, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can only praise you for submitting your work.
The thing is that Amanda sat down and decided I'm going to paint something for a competition, and
Yeah.
just worked her heart out on it, put as much care and attention into it. And she told me herself she's only been painting for a year and a half. And it can do two things to you when you take it to a competition. It can either put you down if you're expecting. If you feel strong enough about what you've painted to actually get somewhere with it, but it can also let you see what everyone else around you is doing and how they paint. And technically, if the other painters are there, if the other submission people are there, you can just chat with them and you can ask them about stuff.
Yeah.
Because I remember there used to be a we don't talk about our techniques because we're professionals attitude, but in the past 6 or 7 years that's kind of disappeared a bit. And you do find there's a lot more of a melting pot around a lot of painters, particularly the online painters, the Twitch streamers, the YouTube tutorial guys and all that. Very open and very willing to have a chat about it. So when you go to a competition with low expectations, you'll probably come away with more than what you'd thought you were going to anyway. And Amanda did a great job on that little Eldar guy. I loved it.
Did a great job on it. And
Yeah. I did a competition maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Actually, there's two. Actually, one I did for a little Games Workshop one, and it was called just like Golden Gretchen. And so I took a miniature in that was like this still converted Space Wolf Scout that I'd painted up, and I was happy enough with it. And then when you put it into the store, you see all these other miniatures around it, and you're like, oh man, I'm never gonna get anything out of this. But the key thing was what you were just saying there, John. There were people there that were like, hey man, I really like what you've done with this, and I like the conversion work. Here's some ideas for how you might want to upgrade your painting on this, like working with the weapons, the boots, and the Games Workshop staff were really good about it as well. And then the other one I did was for War Machine, where I painted up, and it was like an escalation league. And at the very end of it, we had the painting competition at the end, and I was thinking to myself, nah, I'm never going to get anything out of this, because all my stuff was painted for tabletop standard, but that was pretty much it. But at the end of it, the store owner came around and was like, yeah man, you won the painting competition. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, because you painted everything and it's all got a really nice uniform look to it and everything. And so it was one of those times where you come through and you're like, hey, yeah, it doesn't matter, potentially if you've gone for the route in sort of those larger contexts of like really finely detailed miniatures all going down to that single piece, but if you've done something that looks good as a whole, as a force, then you should be proud of that as well. So
that's exactly the same experience I had when I went to what did we call it? Throne of Blood. Was it Throne of Blood or Throne of Skulls? We did in Belfast.
Right, yeah.
The Belfast Games Workshop was at QCon, and they used to run a couple of tournaments there. And obviously, you had your best sportsmanship and best army and stuff like that. And the first year I went, I took my Imperial Guard. I was happy with it, but it missed out on the finalists by, I think they told me 3 votes. And I was like, right, screw this. Went home, and then I created the first Stone Templar. And I was like, I'm going to make these for next year. Spent the whole year building them up. Even the night before the competition, I was still painting at least 2 characters. Went in, had great fun with the army in the tournament. Loads of people were just like, that's a nice looking army. And there was a lot of rules we fluffed because I just didn't care about the gameplay. I just wanted my opponent to have a good time. We racked all the armies up for judging. Came back and it was like, yeah, you totally nailed it with the best army, and I was very happy with that because there was a lot of people asking me how I did stuff, and I was sat there thinking, but I'm only like, this is bare basics. I've barely highlighted anything. It's all rough, but again, as you say, Ben, as a whole, the army when it's all ranked up looks really good.
Like how Mark on YouTube asked, can you paint miniatures if there are cats getting the nose stuck in? And Dunham99 has replied with, just paint the cats.
Yeah,
as well.
What I find is, because I have 2 cats at home, and they will get in my way. So what they end up what happens eventually is they walk away with a rainbow nose. The more they poke their nose in, you just get a little flick of paint across their nose, and they scurry off, and then they come back again later, not having learned.
2D Sick has been working on his conquest stuff, continuing on with his conquest stuff. This guy as well. I'd love to try and paint these. I think they look they're really gruesome, but they're not as what's the word you guys use?
Eerie?
Gribbly.
Gribbly.
Yeah.
It doesn't look as gribbly because I hate painting gribbly pieces. These look gruesome, but they look good. Hazard No Co. Thank you very much for following. I hope you are enjoying the show so far. Doug the Fug. He speed painted this Absolute? What?
The man's a beast.
You're crazy, man.
The man is a beast.
Painting some Mantic stuff as well. Are these all Mantic? Oh, is this girl from Space, or not Dungeon Saga, Space Saga?
Well, I think, is the girl from Wild West Exodus, is she? Or no?
The base look is Wild West Exodus, I can tell you that much.
Oh, okay.
So she must be a wax model.
And then the zombie is The Walking Dead, yeah.
Yeah,
I love the skin tone and the trousers in the zombie.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And the blood work is quite nice, because every time I've seen The Walking Dead stuff, I've seen people like get a wee bit too blood friendly. And I know they're zombies, but I feel like
well, I don't know if it's intentional or not, Doug, but you've actually did a lot of really cool fresh blood on the legs and a lot of really old blood stain on the shirt, and that is a really good way to do blood, just that old and new stuff, and mix it up a bit. It even looks even
Extra
better.
half hour into the game and it's happy with the result. Guess you can spend too long miniatures getting splattered every 2 minutes. I love
really
the base
nice.
as well.
Yeah,
That's-
you even had time to
it's
do
nice
the base.
freehand
That's
base.
paint some texture on there. Damn it, dude! That's a good job. That's a good job.
Good job.
Good job.
Yeah, so it was the Speeds Painting Standard Salute, and they had Wild West Exodus there this year. Yeah.
That's
There you
really cool.
That's very cool, yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten anywhere with it.
We don't have time to speed anything at Salute. Everything is just speed. Feed,
Yep.
Speed film, speed interview, get out of the way, gotta interview this.
You're like the
You 15 minutes to go by shinies, you're like, go!
you're like from the from Family Guy, the Asian Santa.
Yeah.
What do you want? What you releasing? Okay, next.
Next we have Jerry in a great coat from Andy. That's great.
Great
What-
as always.
What is this from though?
That's Warlord.
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
it's Warlord, yeah. Because they are putting new stuff out. They're putting a lot of Winter Journal stuff out soon-ish, or now.
And here Amanda's showing off her beautiful gifts.
Do you know, it's really creepy on that Cersei speed circuit lady when it comes round and you just see that face mask.
There you go, that's a really great metal. Ah!
It's like as it rotates away, it's like, oh, I'm just a really cool, awesome looking mechanic. And as the face comes around to you, it's like, I'm going to murder you in your sleep. It's like, oh, okay.
It's where you come from Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Myers. Yeah.
And some burrows and badgers stuff too.
Yeah,
We managed to get some burrows and badgers on the way.
we did. Yes.
I should have.
Thankfully, our office was just above the Burrs and Badgers stand.
Yeah.
Just
Looking out the
happened to
window,
be
we're like,
there,
hi
so-
Joe, hi Mike.
Just throwing stuff up to you.
You got any more minis?
I should have actually, if I thought about it, I should have asked you guys to grab me a little set of it because I'm quite tempted.
For what they are, they're actually very cheap as well.
Yeah.
They're very affordable, and the sculpts are amazing. And if you've read Redwood or seen the
Redwall.
animated Redwall, yeah, that's right, or seen the animated show years ago, I think they're just perfect for it.
Yes.
Not perfect for that other rabbit movie, which is bloody terrifying.
Watership Down.
Yeah, Sneak Snare. Thank you very much for following. Yeah, Watership Down was terrifying as a child.
No,
It
if
is.
they-
Terrifying now as an adult.
If they'd had bows and swords,
Yeah, if they had bows and swords, then it would be okay with the violence, but no. More land stirs. That was quite difficult for me there. I love the bases that Andy's been working on
yeah.
because it's clearly cold, but yeah,
It's clearly
Lovely.
cold because it's snow.
that's it. I've not
Yeah.
much to say.
I'm really. We had a preview this week from Perry. They're doing a set of Mediterranean US infantry at some point in the future this year. So I can probably imagine that Andy's going to pick those up, and I'm very interested to see how they come across because I want to see what the difference in uniform is and stuff for the troops that fought in sort of Tunisia and Italy compared to like the more central West
stuff.
European front. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Ooh.
I wonder because I know from experience that Andy paints very quickly.
He does.
I wonder, does he just choose like 3 or 4 colors and stick with them?
It feels like it because this stuff here, this is the stuff he got at Salute.
Uh-huh.
I remember seeing his posts on it, and it was like, I bought these at Salute, and now they're done. And it's like, could you stop? But then I think Andy paints in very small batches.
Yeah.
I think maybe that picture in itself is a batch.
Yeah. This would take me a week, 2 weeks to get through, and then I wouldn't do the bases until 2 months later.
Yeah. And if you were Justin, you wouldn't do them at all. I gotta be careful because he's actually off today and he might be watching.
Oh no, quiet.
Storms in.
How dare you! Justin, are you cutting foam for our cosplay? No, then get out.
So this is another one from 2D Sick. I'm going to purposefully ignore this because we're going to be looking at this on Friday.
But those nights, though.
I love the color scheme on these.
That copper and turquoise works so well.
Doesn't it?
I'm going to fanboy because that's a beautiful little piece of work.
Yep.
Because these are... It's such simple color scheme and simple on the plate mail, but yeah, the copper, steel, and the turquoise highlight, even the little yellow, on the helmet, beautiful. And here we have Amanda's next update on the. I'm not going to pronounce the name. Dreadnought.
The Space Wolf.
Venerable Dreadnought. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful work. Really tidy work.
She says that she turned insane on the top of it. Not sure why I thought to do it, but it does look it makes stand out in the table. It does.
The like jaw lining.
That's something I've liked seeing from Amanda. Every time she goes to paint something, she tries something that pushes her patience a little bit. And that lining on the top of the Dreadnought is just enough so that by the time you finished it, you went, oh my god, I never want to do that again. But then you look at it and go, actually, I quite like that. I think I will do it again. And then the process repeats. You push yourself a little bit every time. Like the I wish I'd had pictures of it here. I have on my Facebook, but I'm painting my own Blood Red Sky stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because Warlord were so nice that they gave me a couple of boxes of stuff. So I have some P51s, and I've got a color scheme, and it requires painting yellow and red checker pattern, but just on the end of the nose cone.
Oh my god!
So it's like 2 squares, like alternating red yellow squares. And it drove me mad last night, but I have them all done, and I don't have any decent pictures.
You don't learn anything if you don't try something new.
Yeah.
And what Amanda's doing, she's learning every week.
Yeah. And she's learning clever use of a clever placement of washes as well, making sure that bone has got one particular wash. Then I'll assume that other parts will get different tones and shades. It's perfect.
Their transfer. Oh, the skull.
Yeah,
and
the skull and
bones.
crossbone.
if you had freehanded that.
If you'd freehanded that, I'd have quit my job right now.
Dr. Ether's working on some Rackham stuff, and of course this is going to be great. I love to see his work in progress on this, because this is just him base colouring. It looks very like washed out as well.
Yeah.
Very pastel-y sort of look to it.
Then he's just building it up, and the final result is beautiful. I love the really bright pink and purple he has for these.
It's the sword that gets me as well there, because obviously we saw it last time with the Rackham wolves, the wolfen.
Yep.
But man, that's just wonderful. Yeah.
And I don't think he's using metallic paints for the sword.
No, it looks all non-metallic. Yeah.
Something else I need to learn, possibly this year, is some non-metallics. Give it a go and thoroughly drive myself mad learning it.
Yeah.
It looks great though. Like no matter what angle you get at that, you know where the lighting source is coming from in this model.
Yes. Yeah.
In U3, it's been work. Oh, some more burrows and badgers, as well as a Sigmarite above. This is going to be a weird turn if burrows and badgers had Sigmar.
That Stormcast Eternal is so blue.
Very blue, isn't it?
It's redonkulously blue.
It's nice that it's not gold.
Yeah. Blue and silver work so well together.
Yeah. He says he's going to go with a super vibrant, transparent ink to tie it all together and make it punch a bit more. I'd say it's pretty damn punchy.
Yeah,
it's going to be even punchier. So.
This is the difference between an uppercut and a clothesline.
The Darth Fluffy is painting Necron not using any metal colours. Necrons are all metal, aren't they?
Yes.
No, well, technically, they have plenty of colour schemes in the Codex for like this sort of ceramic feel, which is basically matte painted.
Yeah.
But if you're doing a non-metallic Necron army, I would really love to see that.
And Mark is asking us if we paint with magnifying glass and stands. I don't.
No, I don't.
Nope, me neither.
I just hold the mini closer to my face.
Lloyd's been looking at getting. Do you like artistic painters goggles. You know, the ones that come down. You see them in Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Yeah.
like the
visor
one in
thing?
what is it? The kid with the multiple.
Yeah, he was looking at getting those because through a magnifying glass you kind of lose your depth perception.
Uh-huh.
You're looking through a single lens. You need a double lens to
I never
get
thought of
back.
that.
But no, I don't use magnifying glasses. I have these.
All I can think of is the joke about enhancing and Blade Runner, where he just pushes his head close to the screen. Is
Enhance.
yeah. Yeah. I love the fur work. Sorry, on that squirrel. I think that's really nice.
Yeah.
Just that blend up from the white through to the yellow and then the orange as well, like the orangey red. That's really lovely. I like.
It's proper red squirrel right there.
Yeah.
Nice color changes other than a grey squirrel. Be a lot more fiercer model, I believe. This one feels like you could at least talk to it, maybe barter down with it. Symphidious Dancer, and that's Gianna, isn't it?
Yep.
Done it, yeah.
She's been working on Footsore miniatures, Blood Eagle, which become objectives for Saga games. These are cool.
Oh wow, it's actually got the back.
Lovely and bloodthirsty.
Lovely.
Yeah. Wow.
Ah, she's got all the collector's miniatures from their sort of the web store. She's got the Wanderer Odin, the sort of necromancer style shaman fellow, the seer. Wow, awesome. Yeah,
It's good stuff, Gianna. I want to see you post more. We don't see the Americans paint so much.
Nope.
oh.
Um,
Doug
keep
the Fuck
busy.
says Jerry has made a comment that the Blood Eagle gent looks a little like Justin.
The Blood Eagle gent? Where's that?
It's
the
that
guy,
guy.
the guy that's dead. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I see the resemblance. Not glossy enough,
Yeah, not enough burgers in there.
and not enough burgers in there. Or chicken nuggets.
Ben, you've been working on more Gloomhaven. Quite a lot. Oh, this is a Mind Thief you were looking to paint
Yeah.
up, weren't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of goes back into that thing I was saying of, like, I had to paint these up quickly, so they're not as tidy as they could have been, but I really just love the idea of getting stuck into painting stuff that was completely off the wall in terms of colours. So you've got basically a big pink rat, so, which I thought was good fun to paint. So yeah, and then you got the Tinkerer as well, and the sort of metals.
That Tinker is pretty badass looking.
Yeah,
Again, your color choice is great.
yeah.
It reminds me of Full-Sung Minis, just that Tinker.
Yeah, it does a bit actually.
Yeah.
Mark says he hasn't painted a miniature in 1991. Eyes are not as good. Just get bigger models.
Yeah. You can get models now in 32 mil, 35 mil, 54 mil, and most of them pretty much have games for them as well. So,
And if your
Check out-
pockets are deep enough, model tanks go up to quarter scale,
There you go.
yeah,
which makes them
Or-
4 foot tall.
yeah. Or just go even tinier and go to like 6 mil, and then you only have to paint like 2 colors, and then they're done. So,
Just dip them in the pot.
yeah.
Oh dear.
Sorry, everyone who actually collects 6 mil. So,
Yeah, Rob's going to be angry at you.
and paints them well.
Color Robin Taurus will be mad at you.
Yeah. Neo Scream has been working on Mantic and Forgers. I like these Mantic guys. I think Mantic do these are Dreadnought, aren't they? Or what is their other game?
Warpath.
Warpath.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I quite like their Warpath minis.
They do some very nice Forge Fathers who are their dwarves.
Yeah, funny that, man.
Yeah. In fact, I have a sprue of them in my drawer right here that I was given ages ago and haven't actually painted yet. But
Oh, he's working on Iron Man as well. It's very cool. This is like the first iteration of Iron Man, though.
Yeah.
He's gone through quite a few suits.
full on big kit as well. Yeah.
I think it's a Bandai kit, if I recall right. I think Bandai did a lot of this.
Yeah.
Not quite. I think 1/16 scale or something like that.
Yeah.
Looks 1/16, maybe a bit bigger. 12.
Yeah, Amanda says you can get 1-to-1 tanks as well.
Oh, I know.
You can paint those.
You can paint those, but it's a bit more difficult.
Weathering is a bit easier though.
Weathering's easy. Weathering's the fun part.
And then the wraiths finished from Big Grim. I think the basing on these has actually really transformed these.
Yeah, it's brought
quite
them
a
up
lot
really
now.
nice.
Ooh, and he's
Bloody lovely.
got a bigger one now too coming up.
Dragon kit.
There's something different too. Got to get into sub assemblies and it begin priming. Is that
Yeah.
for the
Well,
same
is it
force?
one of the ad mechs? One of the
Yeah,
oh no, it's
it's
Imperial
from Forge-
Knight, isn't it? Yeah.
It's from the Forge Bane box, the
Oh.
Mini Knight.
Yeah.
one there?
The one that's
Behind us.
behind us somewhere. Which we still
That's the
haven't
one,
played,
yeah. The Warglaive, yes.
Yeah.
Warglaive.
It's going to be interesting. Giannis, he was joining my stream the other day, and this is what he must have been painting on. He's finished off these Victrix Libyan skirmishers. Giannis is another guy who just paints constantly, and it always seems to be varied between Romans.
Yep.
Constantly painting Romans, but likes to take a break now and then. These are really nice transfers on the shield.
Do you want to bring the image up?
Sorry.
Look at those funky hairstyles as well.
I remember him asking last week if he wanted to add more tattoos to the heads, but I think this has worked out quite nicely.
I think a smattering of them rather than making them like a major feature on everybody has worked out. Look at the cow skin effect on that last shield. That's friggin' gorgeous.
And that one there too as well.
They
I
have
think the reds have turned out really nice.
they have a beautiful texture about them. The cloth feels like it's really nice cloth, I guess is the best way to say it. It's just there's a nice they look kind of tactile in their own way. I'm finding my words a real struggle today.
Don't worry, we're finished salute. I'm still struggling.
Yep.
Good calf.
Good
muscle
calf
there.
definition there.
Yeah. Look at that. He definitely does calf raises.
They do not have chest shoulder blades.
No.
Yeah, no backpacks.
No
Yeah.
backpacks.
No backpacks this time.
No, yeah, backpacks. Yeah, backpacks.
What's a
that
backpack?
was the one,
Yeah, backpacks. Yeah. Anyone who's new to the stream is like, "What are they talking about? Backpacks." Commodore Rob's been working on Blood Red Skies, John.
Yep. He actually shared a couple of these pictures with me the other night because he was asking how to approach some of the colours and the schemes and stuff. So I told him to go and put some Army Painter dip on them and see how that works on the panel lines. I think it should work pretty well.
Yeah. Very good. So you've already discussed this with Rob.
Yeah.
So a little bit of Army Painter dip on these here, and it should bring out.
You should get the panel lines in without having to go through the effort of what I've been doing on live streams and thinning a paint down or an ink down and going in through every panel line. I'm only doing that because we need bright and colourful for our videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like how Andy's like, another one on this page. More Stalingrad Germans.
I don't think you're complaining, Andy, at all.
I don't think he is. Unless this guy he found in the bottom of the box after he'd finished everybody else.
Maybe.
That would be a pain.
Oh, we've got the actual serpent.
There's another snake dude.
Oh, this is someone else though. This is not the
Yeah.
same person, but he's working up more snakes, and it's kind of like the same color scheme.
Oh, I like the burst of colours on that one.
Big, vibrant, bold colours. What we need more of on the tabletop.
Yep.
Grimdark is fun, but also light, bold colours, flamboyance,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
these are nice. I like working with a lot of colors whenever I'm painting as well. These look really fun to paint.
Shadows of Brimstone's where I got my big demon from that I'm using for my 40k in Age of Sigmar army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of footers in this here as well, which is great. If you're ever supplying or putting in photographs into the forums, the more the better, because then we get to see everything. And if you're like Lloyd, he likes to see the backs of the models for some reason.
He's a butt guy.
Yeah, that's it. Cameron hasn't been hobbying a lot this weekend, but he's been casting and converting Drew's Shock team minis. The female wants to be more precise because he hates battle heels. I say he's just taking the heels off them, is it?
Yeah.
Stop them wearing platforms or high heels. Yeah.
But it kind of makes sense though. I mean,
I kind of agree.
I don't think many females would be running into battle with heels. I've seen a lot of action movies and I know they'll use their heels for horrible deaths, but I don't think it's very practical. Only one way to find out.
Mm-hmm. We need to science this.
And both these have been working on these. What are these actually?
1805, Lichte Dragonair Eisenhog Johann. Sod it. Archduke John's Light Dragoons. There we go. Finished just in time for a huge game last weekend. So.
These look excellent. Lots of very, very bright colours.
It's the thing that I really like about this period is you've got that element of pageantry about everything. And so when it comes down to painting your models, you're painting a force that is, you know, suited and ready for battle, but then all the amazing colours just pop on the table and make things look amazing when you're playing games. And no, I won't stop, Sundancer. I will keep pronouncing things wrong. God damn you.
I like how every mini here has got the white coat except for the general. So you can really pick them out.
Yes.
Yeah. And the fact that he's shown them in a line and back to back shows that the basing matches quite nicely as well.
And we can look at JavaScript or something later. People start
Oh, we have Amanda's keeping. Oh, she's added some weathering to this.
Yeah.
Now.
A darker wash over the blue, and we've got some sort of glow effect starting to come up in the runes on the shield.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering when you were going to start working on the shield to see what was going to happen on this. Very colourful, and then we started on the wolf guard as well.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how she does the wolf guard. Really am, because they are really nice models.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We're going to see a project of wolf guards now, next John.
Maybe.
You painted your Doom Scythe on the painting form. A humble apologise to you for the poor photo and John for my painting. Don't worry, we'll check it out very soon. Thank you very much for posting as well. You're powering through. Oh, this is the Scoundrel Ben. This is the one you were looking forward to painting.
Mm-hmm. So Scoundrel with a cool, stylishy, sort of roguey ranger getup, and then purple hair because why the hell not? So.
Yeah, I did that in an Infinity miniature. I was like, what colour hair should it go? Purple. Okay.
Yeah. And then the Spellweaver as well, which came out quite nicely. The wash worked very nicely for the flame because it almost looks like that kind of liquid flame you sometimes get that's like licking over walls and stuff. So yeah, it was fun finishing them off. That's all 6 of the heroes done for Gloomhaven, and then the other ones will be painted as soon as their boxes are opened when we play the game. So yeah.
Is there more minis for Gloomhaven, like in the core box?
So what they did with Gloomhaven is they made it so that all the enemies that you face are little card standees, just so they could put feck loads of them in the box, pretty much. And then all the heroes are done as miniatures in sort of soft plastic. But the way that it works is there are 6 to begin with, and then from that point onwards, you have to fulfill personal quests to unlock the other ones. And they're each in their own little tiny boxes that you open legacy style. So you don't know who they are and what they are until you've completed the missions. And then at that point, your old hero retires and becomes an NPC, and then you play as the new character, which I thought was very cool. So
that's really interesting.
Yeah. And Taurus says, "Could you ask Warren to be quiet? It's very off-putting." Yeah, Warren. I mean, he can't hear me because I'm in England, but
yeah, he's not.
He's away now. He's away. Jan's working on quick thing for Frostgrave. I really like the little freehand sheath that he's done here. It's very nice.
Yeah, same painting without using the washes, and he's not entirely happy with the skin tone. It's one of the things that I'm starting to use, and I'm trying to work out whether I'm using as a crutch or just as a continual aid. Is that I'm using washes now more prevalently on everything because it makes things pop. But maybe I've got to try and learn to go beyond them a little bit now. But because obviously, when you think about it, back in the day, like 10, 15 years ago, people didn't really use watches, I suppose, did they? They're fairly modern thing, unless that was something that people made themselves. Really, back I'm not sure.
I think
So you just
like
water down your paints.
I think back in the 70s and 80s and stuff, I think people were just using standard art supplies, so you'd have your artistic inks and stuff you could play with. But they were never like early GW stuff. Yeah, there was a bit of ink work done to it, but it was largely flat paint.
Yeah. So I suppose it depends on the style you're going for with miniatures, doesn't it? I guess.
Yep,
More awesome stuff from Andy.
absolutely. I see he's still taking me to school on painting multicam. I still need to catch up on that and start learning it myself. But really good work.
How many stuff has Andy done now?
It's a lot.
He's powering through minis every day.
Yep.
Very
Is it just me, or does the guy from Spectre look like he's afraid and that someone's going to steal his rifle? He's like, "Oh, don't take it from me, please."
It's like a kobold out of World of Warcraft. You know, take rifle.
Yeah.
Whereas this British guy with his night vision on is just like, come at me, bro. I can see you in the dark.
Yeah.
I can see you, and I look awesome.
Maybe we should make a video series with Andy where he talks about his painting style. That would be really cool.
I would like that.
Yeah.
We'll like that a lot. Shall we make that happen?
Yes.
We'll just kidnap him, yeah.
Next boot camp, we can maybe get him on stream or something.
Just like, Andy, does this smell like chloroform to you? And then when he wakes up, he's like, and the room's locked.
What we could do while Andy's painting, because he will be at the next boot camp, he'll just sit and paint. We can just like slowly put cameras around him. If we don't move too quickly, he won't see us.
And Necron.
We'll get him to sign like a contract or something beforehand that we can use it, and then we'll just sneak in really quietly. Harry Brain's working on
Necron from Forge Bane.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, I
glow
love the
effect.
back piece. That's really cool.
The Canoptic Wraiths are looking fantastic there.
Mhm.
I love those. Yeah.
These look like eyeballs.
They do, except they're drop fleet.
We saw a lot of drop fleet as well.
Has he been doing these in flip paint?
It looks like it. Turn the screen, John. You'll find out.
No. Oh yeah, 30.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
I see a lot of people like working with the metal shift paints now, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be. We're going to see a lot of it.
Yeah, well, we've been experimenting with it. Like I said last week, we've been doing a lot of work with it in the background, which will eventually come to light at some point. Headless Romans.
Here's Romans here. Yeah. Victrix Republican skin needs washing and highlighting. And what about their heads?
Oh, Yanis, naughty boy, I see blue where there shouldn't be.
Right here.
Oh dear. Was someone tired?
little tiny bit there. It's alright, we'll forgive you.
Yeah, we can forgive you for that.
Takes a lot, but we'll forgive you. Yeah.
Disguise the camera as ostriches.
Yeah, around Andy.
Oh dear. That might work though.
More work in progress on the Wolf Guard. I'm liking how the shields are turning out so far.
The edging on the shields and the runes are really going to make those shields really nice.
I like how Amanda works almost foreground to recesses.
Yeah.
Or in actually just picking the metals and doing the metals first, which I think you mentioned last time as well. To do you would do the metals first.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas with these, I would probably like do right into the shadows, like in here in the legs first, just to get them out of the way, so I don't like paint over them whenever I'm going on the uppermost surfaces.
Yeah. She works at a completely random order. It's fair enough. It works.
Yeah.
It clearly
whatever
works.
paint is closest to you, I guess.
Yep.
Terrible photo, Ben.
Ben,
What
this is Ben. Have you learned nothing?
Look, it was 11:30 at night. I just finished playing Fortnite, and I was doing some washing on the model. All right, so
Could have waited until the dawn.
I could have done, but I was just too eager to show off my elf. So that's from Looted Eye. So yeah,
Oh
eager to show off
picked
the elf. So.
Yeah, you picked these up at Salute.
I did, yes, yeah. And I made the unfortunate comment of saying, "Oh, I'd have some of these painted for the weekender." So I was like, "Oh, god damn it!"
See, I promised myself I would finish my Rune Wars before I painted anything I got from Salute.
Yeah.
I wonder
Which was going to take until next Salute.
if I should try and finish my P51s for the week, for the end of this week.
Do you think you can do it?
I think I could do it. I mean, I do have painting streams this week as well, though. So
Yeah. Is there any chance you can bring them in?
I might.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't worry, John. You've got until Saturday for the weekender.
No,
Yes.
I'm talking about
So-
my painting streams.
Oh, okay, right, fair
My
enough.
week finishes on Friday,
It does, yes.
unlike the rest of you crazy people.
6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. Woo wee!
Yeah. I don't know
Speaking-
how you get up at that time in the morning.
I
Ben.
know, yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking about bros and badgers, and now we see what happens when a really talented person gets their hands on one, and that is looking amazing.
Yeah.
The Dandy Highway Fox by Dunham 99. Yeah.
That is such a nice model too.
I think I picked one of these up for Nula at Salute.
it's so
I
lovely.
might just send this to her and be like, look at what.
Look what it
we
could be.
achieved."
Commodore Rob, I have 7 to paint, so it's not a big issue. We can get them done.
Yeah, you can do all that checker stuff, no problem.
I already have it done. I did it last night.
Well,
It only took 3 hours.
well, you're halfway done.
To which I know Lozzie's currently away and not watching the stream, but Lozzie kept looking over at me going, "Can I have some attention?" And I was like, "Just one more."
I love that it's even got the point
the
with the
little
whiskers.
bits, yeah. The expression on that model is
And the-
great. The eyes.
Yeah, the shading in the eye
Mm-hmm.
as
well is great. Lovely.
Superb. I hope you paint up more of these and get playing the game as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He said he picked up 8 models from the range, so I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of them as well. So.
I wonder, was he one of the guys with the baskets?
Maybe.
Usworn had like just baskets sitting because they had so many models that they clearly have learned from previous salutes where people just come at them and are like, "I want these."
Oh, you're really making me want to buy some of this stuff now.
Do it now.
Post you do will be overcome by
Or
cute little animal figures.
Yeah.
This
These are
is
nice
Dark
too.
Souls stuff as well.
Dark Souls.
These are really nice. I
The
think we've seen these last time, but these just been adding
yeah.
to them now.
His armor work is great.
It is, yeah. It really shows on the. You can see it on the leg armor for the second person as well. It looks
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob says birds before girls.
I finished my warbirds. I have to finish my warbirds before I pay attention to the girl. She would not appreciate that, Rob, and you know this.
Okay, and Alan, this gorilla with the brush, I was chatting to him as well during his stream over the weekend. He was having a great time.
Oh, 2D Sick, man. That is so nice.
Isn't it? This is the Conquest stuff, which seems to, like, I haven't seen them painted up this well. And I think, yeah, these are really, the color scheme is beautiful, and because it's
Yeah.
using more turquoise, it really suits it.
It does. The person who gets the demo game with these models is going to be a very happy person indeed. So,
They're going to be inspired.
yeah.
You know, they really are. Because that color choices, there's a lot of that I wouldn't have put together. Probably the copper and the silver and the turquoise and the yellow work well together, but I wouldn't have thought of putting them together. And certainly not all together on the same model.
I feel like there's very, very little highlight on these. Like, you
There's
see
no
little
highlight.
I think this is all to do with the camera and the lighting, but I think it works. I don't think you even need any more highlight.
I would dare
Yeah.
to suggest that they've been quick shaded,
Maybe.
but I'm not sure. If they are quick shaded, it's an incredibly tidy one. But at the same time, it doesn't matter.
Well, it kind of looks to be quick shaded like here.
Yeah. Mark, sorry, just on YouTube says he found us by watching Sharp Practice and Chain of Command on YouTube. Very cool. If you're interested in seeing more of Two Fat Laddies, we did do a Water Tanker Let's Play yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah. So there should be some even more for that. So
yeah. So if you scroll down and if I pause this, because that'll give us an echo. If you come here, click this, and you can see our Let's Play of What a Tanker as well. And
yeah.
You can hopefully get some drool from your mouth, because this just I made the post work in this, and it reminds me of custard.
It reminds
rhubarb and custard sweets.
It reminds me of fruit salads.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, if you enjoy the Two Fat Lardies content, come across and watch What a Tanker, because it seemed like a really fun game to get stuck into, especially for very minimal models.
And Chain of Command.
2D6 says they do need a final stage of highlighting on those models, he says. So,
well, honestly, 2D, I would just highlight the silver. I honestly don't think... I think you would overdo it if you highlighted anything else.
I think it looks great even without highlighting.
They have a nice heft. They have a nice weight to them without the highlighting stage. That's just me.
The bases are like...
they're
great, but they're like not dull. They're dull enough to not require a highlight. Because I think if you had more brighter bases, then it would seem that you'd maybe need.
I think we
highlight.
offended him by suggesting that there was a quick shade on the model.
He said, "Yeah, there's a single wash over areas, but not quick shaded. He can't stand dipping." So there we go.
It's on the idea of dipping.
I don't like dipping. Either.
I use quick shade on a lot of stuff, but I certainly don't dip it. I think you've ruined your model doing it.
Paint it on, and then
paint it on very thinly.
Yeah, I know the people who dip it and then they paint it off.
Yeah,
like they pull it off, but I think if you just paint it on, it's quicker and better. Panzer Kaput.
Is Panzer Kaput trying to give us another comic?
Maybe. This one,
I think he does this on purpose now.
Yeah. What is the caption of this one?
Let's see how many there are. Is it just the two?
No, it's just two.
Oh, just the two.
He's got a butcher knife, so it's almost like the pigs got lost. The gangster room stuff, like, it really lends itself quite well.
It does
to caption contests. So if anyone wants to make a caption contest, go for it.
Bloody hell! I was looking for my bacon for the morning.
Why is he speaking in an Irish accent? Do you know what, Panzer? If you want to, you should actually start doing little comic strips like this.
Yeah.
Get little speech bubbles above your characters and stuff.
That'd be very fun.
Let's talk about the paint job, which is great. He's definitely done a nice, consistent job, considering all the rest of the stuff he's been doing too.
I don't know if this is intentional, but just the calf muscle here.
You love calf definition at the minute, don't you?
Well, it's what I'm noticing most about this model, and I just want to see if it's maybe intentional or not. But he's actually went to the hassle. Like, it looks like actual muscle.
It's highlighted a lot brighter than the other one too, so it shows that leg is his trailing leg.
Yeah. Great. Great calf definition. No backpacks in this one.
Hashtag calf definition.
Hashtag leg day.
Yeah. Interestingly, just so people are aware as well, if they are liking the look of Ganga's Rome, I believe the starter box for that is actually now available. It's called like Battle on the Aventine or something as it's called, or Skirmish on the Aventine. But it's actually up and available now, so if you're interested in getting stuck into that game, you can go and check out more of the models that are done by, I think it's War Banner and Footsore, so yeah. Very nice indeed.
Very cool. Sundancer, let's have a look at your Star Wars Legion stuff. These are the... What am I doing? It's not Photoshop.
What are you doing?
Beautiful high-res picture here. Great stuff. Let's bring it up a little brighter if we can. And... yeah, this is nice. You see, I like your like little setup here, actually.
It's quite adorable, that setup.
Your little like egg box almost.
Yeah.
It says don't be too harsh on the camo.
Can't be too harsh on the camo. What are you talking about?
This poor guy here, he's taking a break.
That ATRT driver has had enough.
These are quite nice though. I like them. Are these fully finished, or has it got more to do with these? I wonder.
They look pretty close to me, to be honest. He's maybe going to be doing a highlight step to it. I'm not sure.
Maybe do a little bit of highlight just on these guys to give them a bit more facial expression.
On the Blue Man group.
Yeah, the Blue Man group. Yeah,
It's the exact shade of blue.
Give them some paddles and some pipe organs.
It's the exact shade of blue Blue Man Group.
Lovely stuff. Ooh, the painting bozo. Is this one of the guys who was on the stream earlier?
I don't know.
Very sorry, Ben, that we missed out on the Gangs of Rome table. We were rushed off our feet at Salute, like every year. If you were to come with us next year and just do tables, we'll happily bring you along.
Yeah, it was definitely something we were talking about, is having someone who's dedicated to doing that kind of thing if they want to volunteer for it. So yeah.
Yeah, because we can do all the interviews and stuff, but finding time to go around the tables and just even take photos of the venue, it's chaos for us trying to get everything. But that's what you get for a 7-hour show.
Yeah.
These look very nice.
More Daughters of Cain. They are actually really nice models.
With the jade runes in the bottom, I think these look really nice. Hold on a second, look at the wings. The detail on the wings here. If I can bring this up.
Yeah, there's a very subtle look on the inside.
Sort of vein work.
Yeah.
If I brighten this up a little bit, we'll be able to see it.
Oh yeah.
That's lovely, yeah.
Really good work.
So that's a very small example of maybe the lighting or the camera work not doing the minis justice, but I think like these look great, and I think this is I'd love to see all the minis up close, because I hate looking at photos of minis online because you can never see the proper detail. Because at Salute, I was looking at the painting competition winners and they're all amazing.
Yeah.
The photos really don't do them any justice.
Sundancer, are we attending any cons in Germany this year? Ben, are we covering
We should
Essen?
be. Yeah, we should be at Essen.
Yeah.
So that's more board game focused, obviously, but we should be at Essen this year. Fingers crossed. So, yeah, I think there are some things sorted out for that, but I won't nail it to the wall just yet. So,
Viking with brushes.
So you want some
Who wants some sickeningly beautiful paint?
Viking
work?
with brushes wants some comments and criticism
Yep.
on these. Stop being too good.
I don't know. It's hard to say because
I want to say that I really like this paint because the paint he puts on looks really thick. It almost looks like acrylic paintings rather than like washes and stuff. And I think what you're doing at your age especially is phenomenal.
I'm kicking my ass every day. What would I say? Would I say anything? I like the goggle lenses on this guy. I'm not too sure about this sort of fade, this white lining piece.
Here?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I don't know if you're going to try and do something else with it. Maybe blend it in a bit.
It's a very hard
Glass.
highlight.
Glass is a very difficult thing to make look like glass, without almost going a cartoony approach to it.
Well, let's see here. Hold on. If I open a new window and just look up purple glass. So if it actually looking up diamonds. So what color is a purple? Amethyst.
Yeah.
Amethyst gem. So if we look up like amethyst gems on Google search here, or Google Images, we can see kind of like what we're looking at. You can kind of see like this is maybe a good example of the blending, because it's not, this hasn't been cut. So it would be.
Jerry says, look up cranberry glass as well.
Yeah.
Right, so.
Cranberry glass, okay. Yeah. So it's hard to tell with glass. It's difficult to give
because no
advice on glass.
No matter what way you look at it, the highlight and the shade is going to change.
Glass is very. If you're looking to highlight glass, I know that if the light source is coming from the top, have the light source appear at the
glinting
bottom,
at the bottom,
because that's where the light is coming through and reflecting off.
Yep.
So put your shadows on the top and your lighting at the bottom. If you're working with glass, I know that.
It's very hard to criticize this because it's clearly still a work in progress, and it's hard to see what I know more or less what that final vision is going to look like. But it's just seeing it get there, and it's very hard to criticize otherwise.
Same with these models. I love that very, very unsubtle paints. Like it's very acrylic looking, and you've achieved something great with them.
Yep.
Without, it's almost like you're not even using washes. You're just kind of blending the paints in, which is great. I do it with big boards during festival seasons, and I love using tons and tons of paint because it's really easy to blend together, and I think this is what you're doing, and how you achieve it in such small scale is beyond me. I don't know how. Rob says the thing with the goggles, there's no light behind it, so it's reflective light that it's needed. Yeah. Show your beard's threads on the forums. What do you think, Ben? Should we do a show your beards off in the forums?
Yeah, but then I get beard envy because like I've got like a hobo beard, so.
Manda listened to our request and stuck up a picture of the axe for this Dreadnought.
I really like the color choice in these, because you got the nice green emerald here, and then you've got this kind of like
a blue energized
sapphire,
edge to it. Oh, that's
really
looking
nice.
really good. Really good.
I like how the axe is actually designed as well. Like
The
it looks like
claws.
a paw print.
Yeah. That's really good, Manda.
And then the color on the hilt, is it?
The shaft.
The shaft. Is,
The haft of the axe.
Is it a
really
haft?
nice, because that does look a bit like leather.
What's the difference between a haft and a shaft?
Yes.
I would reckon a shaft is hollow. I don't know. Shut up.
Because I know in mechanical terms there's a thing called a half shaft, which is really more
What the
confusing.
hell is that?
It's a drive shaft, but only half as much.
This guy here, if we go to zoom in on this looks like your man from Street Fighter. This guy here in the back here, doesn't it? With the chest, the hairy chest. What is it called? Zangief.
Zangief. Yeah.
He looks like Zangief.
Yeah. You got paid.
These are great. I love the color, like the flesh tone on this compared to life.
On the dead.
Yeah.
The disembodied.
beheaded.
Yeah, the beheaded. The poor beheaded. The dearly beheaded.
And these are actually quite nice golds on these.
I really like the
done.
Dark Oath War Queen, the third picture there. I think she's amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
She looks like she's enjoying herself.
This is Conflict 47, isn't it?
Oh, this is the conversion piece that we've seen
Uh-huh.
happening that had the weapons from dust and stuff onto it.
No, this is Faux Hammer, and he does really, really nice, clean
Yeah.
paints with really sharp edges. This is really nice so far. I can't wait to see it finished.
That is just excellent. See, there's a comment in there. Which IPs do you think deserve a miniatures game? And then Fifth Element, maybe. I'm going to throw a really trollish one out there. I'm going to say Short Circuit. I say you have to,
so you can drive them off a cliff.
You have to play Johnny 5 through the movie.
Yeah.
The movies. It's a sort of a semi-RPG dungeon crawl.
Oh
I'm
dear.
trying to think of what IP would do very well. Escape
I think-
from New York. The Snake
I think-
Plissken.
I think Fables, the one that was done as Wolf Among Us for the Telltale game. If you did a sort of miniatures board game like that, I think that'd be really cool.
I just genuinely really want to see. I know we're talking about
Indiana Jones.
IPs in general. I'm going to say
Ooh, India, Anna Jones, yeah.
I would actually want a proper BattleTech Mech Warrior, like what the guys from Foreground were doing at Salute.
Yeah.
That big model combat. I want that
Yeah.
properly.
I'm trying to. It's a bit interesting to think of.
G.I. Joe would be hilarious.
I also, I know I got to go on this about this a lot, but Harry Dresden, the Dresden Files, you did some kind of boarded adventure game with that would be brilliant. Any way to stick Harry Dresden on the tabletop would be amazing. So
I think like a mystery game, Ben.
Yeah,
Like Mansions of Madness
oh yes,
with
that would
Harry
be
Dresden
amazing.
stuff. Be
Yeah.
really good.
Oh man, I need to get that Hero Forge miniature printed so I can actually paint it. Oh, yeah. That'd be
Classic
wicked.
Ogres from Steve Jackson's Ogres Miniature Set 1. These are...
That is
Very-
so Captain Scarlet.
It is.
Is it? It's like Captain Scarlet Joe 90 sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's really funky.
These are cool. This is something I've never seen before. And very Captain Scarlet.
It's a very old school game, Ogre. So yeah.
Darth Fluffy off YouTube, thank you very much for coming in and joining us, showing your work. Is this a conversion piece?
No, that is a Necron. It's a Doom Scythe, which is also lovingly known as the Flying Croissant.
Sorry for the bad photos. I think this photo looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks grand.
He paints the field on the tabletop, so he's a tabletop painter. So yeah,
No bad thing.
No.
no bad thing. That's pretty
looks-
much me all the time. So.
And it looks solid as well. The paint looks really smooth on that. You can see the other Necrons in the background.
Yeah, you can see the Necrons
They stand
in
out
the
nicely in
background.
that scheme too. No, very well done, dude, and thanks very much for joining us and posting some pictures.
Yeah.
And to reiterate that, if you came to the stream late, feel free to come to beastofwar.com. You can check out what we have all along the front news. Let's pause this. You can see what we have coming up in news. So obviously the confrontation stuff has started today, and come on, I stopped you. You can see really cool Kickstarters that we've been picking out as well for the week. So if you want to spend some money, that's the place to go. You check out all our cool Let's Plays and comics and stuff. We have a really nice comic coming out this week about Salute, pretty much making fun of Justin spending all this money. And we managed to get an interview with the Angry Joe on Sunday. And hopefully we should see some more content from 6,000 comments on the live blog. Last time I looked at this, it was like 3,000.
There's a lot of winners to pick out of that.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen already, we announced our Confrontation Classic winner from last week. Also, if you want to come across, you can see really cool painting tutorials on Backstage. You can come across and you see exclusive tactics, weekly vlogs, really cool stuff that John's been working on with Blood Red Skies currently, haven't you?
Yep.
And Star Wars. And if you want to support us a little bit more and show off to the world, tell your granny about Beast of War. Get some merch at beastofwar.equid.com. Next up, I want to show you, John, this cool Batman sculpt that Graham has recently done. He went to a friend's birthday party and he was given this thing to paint, pretty much. It's the Frank Miller's Batman, I believe, isn't it? Because that's the thick Batman symbol. That's what I remember of. He's more grim than. There's a lot of like dry brushing on this. I think what I would recommend, because I've seen the final result on this, I think the eyes are a little bit too bright. But I think, because if I scroll down to the very bottom, it looks very threatening. I think the eyes are just a little bit too bright on this, and I think just to differentiate the mask from the makeup, I think you should have used maybe a more matte coat for the makeup. It looks quite bright.
I'm kind of on you there. I would actually give the mask a satin varnish, like paint it on satin varnish, and then really matte in where this makeup is around the eye. But I don't think the eyes are too bright, because that is the focal point of the face.
Yeah.
All the time.
I think this was the one that he was talking about at the meetup, and he was saying that it was put at the bottom of the kid's room that he painted it for. But the kid kept waking up and getting scared of seeing Batman looking at him down the other end of the room. So it was moved down onto a mantelpiece and somewhere else in the house.
I'm not surprised. I've been the same as well.
Where's Rachel?
I don't have any drugs.
Swear to me.
I would give it my impression, but I don't think no.
I think it looks great though. The skin tone and just the dry brushing and detail of the whole thing is.
It's nice and
really
gritty
cool.
looking.
It is.
Yeah. Very nice work indeed.
It's a nice gift for 21st birthday party. Apparently, was it for? Yeah, I think it was grandson's 21st birthday party. Yeah, really nice gift. Next up, we're going to be having a look at other masked ninjas for Test of Honor.
These are very cool. I saw these yesterday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he kit bashed from. So these are Test of Honor minis, but he took off heads from. Where were they from? Were they from the same kind of?
I swapped out with masked men heads from the ninjas and did some putty work to hide the seams at the neck. So.
They're really nice.
I like what he's done with the bases, is he's overflown the bases, because usually some people just stop at the ridge of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we talked about that when we saw some of his other stuff that he painted for Saga, I believe it was, where he'd done that sort of overlapping of the texture, so it sort of merges with the tabletop. It's very cool. Yeah.
This is a really nice way to paint black as well.
Yes, the black's been done very well.
The red and the black really stand out quite nicely.
I fear for that poor monk in one of the later pictures, who's now suddenly going to get full of throwing stars. So, yeah.
Well, he probably did something to deserve it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He got in the way.
He got in the way. Got in the way of the photo shoot.
But remember, we don't even really know if ninjas existed. So as long as you close your eyes and think that they're not there, maybe you'll be fine. So, yeah.
It's
like it's like the bug batter beast of trial. If you don't look at it, it can't see you. So,
yeah. So Rob is in the chat currently. I think he's probably still there, but starting off with some Iron Maiden. We're not going to play it due to copyright reasons, probably.
Yep. He has been very thoroughly convinced into Blood Red Skies. I believe nearly everybody from Beast of War told him to buy Blood Red Skies when he was at Salute.
I think Rob is a big fan of Dropfleet Commander. I think Blood Red Skies really would speak to him as well.
Definitely.
I'm looking forward to seeing the extra paint schemes.
He was talking about doing the core set and then working on more Pacific era or Pacific theater, so he'd be going for the Americans and the Japanese after that.
On the forums we have a topic So we have on the painting forums we had what are you painting, but also we brought in a 3D printing forum, and Warren created the topic of what are you printing now, and I wanted to show off this cool looking Cylon basestar from Star Trek. I don't know, like, it always kind of confused me what way is the front and which way is the back on these things whenever I saw it in the show.
Doesn't matter, you're in space.
And it feels like it'd be quite dangerous if you threw it as well.
It's actually a throwing star.
Yeah.
It splits in two.
Yeah, I quite like the look of these because I played the Battlestar Galactica board game, and in that you get some base stars. So it'd be cool to have some of these that were slightly smaller that you could use as actual models, because they do like I believe they're called Raiders, aren't they? The Cylon ships. They do those in the little plastics for the game, but it'd be cool to have the base stars in the bigger plastic as well. That'd be really cool. So that's neat. And of course they are doing there's a Battlestar Galactica starship game coming out. Which will have like dogfighting in space between the Raiders and the Vipers and stuff. So preparing ahead for that, I guess, as well. So
yeah.
The base star is close to 14 inches long. They broke it into 14 parts. Model it so the details will stand out. And also, he actually modeled this as well.
It's huge.
Yeah. It's bloody great thing.
I was wondering like what size it is. But yeah, this would be great to see painted up.
Mm-hmm.
I hope to see more from you, Jay Martin's son. I think next we have some Star Wars Black Wolves and Rebels. So John, I wanted you to see these because they have very unique paint schemes to them. The bikes, I love the little like
little howling wolf head.
Yeah. On them, and I think they have a really nice paint scheme as well because they're not
the standard brown that you see in Return of the Jedi.
And then if you look at the Stormtroopers,
look at those.
Those are very nice. Yeah.
Do you know what? That's how you use your spare GW transfer sheets, effectively. That is really nice. That blue though, that blue is just so striking, and it kind of reminisces a little bit on some of the Stormtrooper types you see in The Last Jedi. There's a lot more colour starting to appear in them, which is really nice, and different patterns and styles. That works really nice.
Tim Popiler, we've been kind of looking around all the forum topics, and if it generates enough interest, we usually kind of feature it. So if you're interested in 3D printing or hobbying, it doesn't even matter if it's anything to do with painting. It could be building stuff. Could be face painting for all we care. If it's your hobby and you enjoy it, we'll happily talk about it in Hobby Hangout.
If you can go to a children's fete and you can paint all their faces like Warhammer 40,000 characters, so you got some Necrons, you got a couple of Tyranids and stuff. Yeah, that'll be cool. So.
That would definitely make it into Hobby Hangout.
Definitely. I know it can be done as well because I spent 8 years as a performer and I painted faces for a living for a while. So if anyone is out there willing to give it a shot, we'll talk about it. But we have these rebels as well, John, that I wanted you to have a look at.
Camouflaged rebels. Oh, nice.
These are very unique paint schemes. Let me bring this up in Photoshop and brighten up the colours a little bit for us.
Yeah.
It's a little bit dark, unfortunately, but I think it looks really cool.
As Tim says, what the hell is that on my child's face? It's a Tyranid, ma'am.
It's a ripper.
Yeah, I love this thing here because it seems to be there's a lot of wash in it, but I think it looks quite nice. The camo, I have no professional experience with the camo, but I think it looks great, and the blue is
so punchy.
It's very odd to see it, but I think it works quite well with the model.
It does. Very, very nice.
It's got almost, as someone mentions further down in the, I think it's Commander Kaiser says, they've almost got like a video gamey sort of RTS feel to them, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that. So you could tell which squads they were from above. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
I love the little highlights in the visors. Yeah, it does look very video gamey because you can at least tell who's on your team.
Yeah. And considering, as we've mentioned before, like considering that a lot of the Legion stuff is quite similar at the moment for your armies, you're going to need something that differentiates your soldiers from someone else's. So. Yeah.
And last up,
Salute swag.
we thought we'd take a little bit of break and have a look at some people's stuff, what they got over Salute. Because we did a little segment. If you go over to the Salute Live blog, you can see the very last video. We're kind of just showing off what we got, and we'll go into more detail on that in this week's Weekender.
The 69th video, just to cap things off.
Yeah, it was the 69th video, but Lloyd took me the other day to go in and add more photographs, and the live blog looks a lot more pretty now. Unfortunately, it's no longer 69.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
God damn it!
Yeah, it's up to like 80 something now. So we can no longer pull out those innuendos.
God damn it! I worked so hard.
So yeah, this is a topic of just people showing off what they got over the course of Salute, and I thought it'd be a nice little outro to our show. So a lot of Blood Red Skies. I saw Mythos actually had their first retail version of the game.
Yep.
Going out, and Justin went straight to their place very far.
It was good to see. It's good to see them actually coming out.
A lot of foreground stuff, but and yeah, seems a lot of people got a lot of good deals on War Machine, because Troll Trader had a huge stand of just War Machine stuff, and it was pretty much the base set for like a tenner.
The thing that gets me is I didn't get to go over and grab some of the WizKids plastics that they've been doing, the unpainted models for role-playing games.
Yeah, I saw a few of those as well.
Peachy managed to bring some back to us, and I was like, no!
Oh dear.
Where were they? Yeah.
Ben, I don't know if you see this, but if I go to the full browser here, are you seeing what's here in the bottom right corner of the screen? What are you trimming?
I know, yes. I've been told I need to go and shave my beard off now.
Beers, okay. It was a joke, guys. You
can't joke to our community because they will make it real.
The whole forum is just going to be, what are you doing now? What are you drinking now? What are you wearing now?
What are you texting now?
If anything told us that we needed an off-topic section, this is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we hopefully will have at Beast 2.0. We'll make sure Tom is on that. You hear me, Tom, over there?
I think he's not listening on purpose now.
Tom's the silent watcher in the beyond. You need anything done on the website, he's there to do it.
Yeah.
He's not saying
or
anything.
tell you that you should learn the stuff yourself and stop bothering him while he's busy.
Yeah. Piers, he got a whole pile of... I seen like there's so much World War and Modern War that came out of Salute. I know the guys who organised Salute, they're the Warlords, aren't they?
Can I just point out, now that I'm looking at some Burrows and Badgers blisters, those are really well priced.
Yeah.
Those are stupidly well
That's
priced.
why everyone's going after Burrows and Badgers.
Oh, no. I'm going to have to buy some tonight, aren't I?
They're so cute as well.
They are.
It's all part of the plan.
Do you want to know how my wallet got these scars?
Elysium 64 has also made a topic about how he's going to paint these too, which is very interesting. I was going to show it off this week, but he hasn't done very much, so we'll hopefully show it off next week and see what's up. Oh, blister stuff. Shadespire and Volsung 2nd edition. Some cool dice mats. I really like these new dice mats that are coming in, because they can be mouse mats, but they're held for dice as well. I saw a lot of people actually buying primer from the Army Painter, which I never really thought would be a thing to bring to Salute.
But then it's probably it's harder to get it posted places now in the UK.
Yeah, because it contains liquid.
Pressurized canisters and all this sort of rubbish. Royal Mail's just
Yeah.
too terrified of itself lately.
Cool comfort. He's at Subadai got a whole pile of books. I noticed. I was looking through this. And I
A
was
lot
like,
of codexes there.
A lot of
just
books.
in there, yeah.
You see everyone leaving with a little salute miniature too. Which I
What
think
was the salute miniature this
The
year?
salute miniature was 3 guys making tea, I believe.
Yeah, it was set up during the
The Christmas.
the
thing.
armistice thing.
Yeah. This being the 100th year of the end of the war, which is amazing in itself.
A lot of cool stuff here.
There is so much historical.
Yeah, I think
A lot of
the
people
whole
find
the whole
historical.
forum just went to the historical part of salute.
Yep. I see a good
almost-
copy of What a Tanker in there too.
Yeah. What a tanker, and then he also Guillotine got a lot of like
Foreground.
not foreground, yes,
but
but a
Western-
lot of Western stuff.
yeah.
So he's going to be playing because I know these little baggies here, the Black Scorpion, Mexicans and native stuff. So he's going to be playing a lot of Wild West
Sweet.
games soon. I think that's it for. Let's check this out. What are you trimming now? What have we got here? Sundancer.
Oh dear.
What a glorious beard. Look at that. My goodness. Beautiful. Freshly trimmed from Booth. Is this gonna be a whole pile of guys just like holding their beard like this?
all doing the eyebrow.
Yeah. Love it. My goodness.
Oh.
Both of your man.
Okay. We'll leave that as it is. Thank you very much for joining us this week. This has been Hobby Hangout. Don't worry if you missed the start of the show or anything, because if you check back in maybe about 3 hours time, I'll have the video up on the website that you can check out in like the archive.
Yep.
So if you're too busy at work now, you can check it out later on whenever you're painting. I bet Andy is probably doing that.
Yeah.
I bet he has just a constant run of streams and TV shows that he's painting up.
He's like sat in front of this massive wall of monitors.
Yeah, like the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah. This has been Hobby Hangout. If you come across to beastofwar.com, you can check out everything that the forums is supplying, and you can show off your own work as well, and we'll come across. Don't worry that if we ever discuss your work, we're not here to flame your work or anything, and don't take our suggestions. Take our suggestions with a pinch of salt, because we're not experts. We just enjoy the hobby.
We're not here to tell you you're wrong.
Yes, we will happily come in and tell you how to do it better, but we won't tell you that you're wrong.
No, we won't tell. We don't tell people. We suggest.
Yeah.
We feedback, and we say good effort, because
Yeah.
Constructive criticism is the way forward. So.
But thank you very much for joining us this Hobby Hangout. I am Lance. This has been John.
And I have been John. I will now become
And the
Jim.
miracle voice from beyond the wall.
I am not Ben. Yes, I am Ben.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Thank you, John, for joining me this week. Thank you, Ben, for joining me this week. And thank to you for joining us this week as well. We will see you next week. And check out tomorrow for John's painting stream.
Yes.
Happening at what, 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock. Yeah.
1 o'clock BST here at the Beast of War live channel. We'll see you then. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Say bye, guys.
Shout bye.
Backhand. No, don't stick out your tongue. Say bye. Hello.